Hello, this is Cathi Chamberlain, the deplorable author of the book Rules for Deplorables, a primer for fighting radical socialism. I hope you enjoy this YouTube, and if you do, please continue on to my website at www.rulesfordeplorablesbook.com. There you'll find all the ordering options you'll need, from the ebook to the paperback and an audiobook as well. Thank you for watching.
We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America.
Then candidate Barack Obama made a lot of promises during his presidential campaign. Statistics from his time in office, however, tell a whole different story. For the first time in history, the GDP never rose above 2%. Welfare spending increased by 41%, adding 14 million new welfare enrollees. And manufacturing plants closed in record numbers.
The fact is, the American dream is back. It's bigger and better and stronger than ever before.
Incredibly, halfway through President Trump's first term, the GDP increased beyond all expectations. Welfare decreased, as has unemployment, especially among blacks and Hispanics and women, the lowest in more than 50 years. And Trump's fairer trade policies and decreased regulations have brought manufacturing jobs back to America in record numbers. It's no wonder his support keeps growing.
Thank you for joining us on this discussion about a new book that was released just in the last few weeks, Rules for Deplorables by author Cathi Chamberlain. Cathi, we watched President Trump ride triumphantly into office over great odds. And since then, he's accomplished a lot of things that people didn't expect him to, even in the face of great opposition. Having seen all of that, why did you feel the need to write this book?
Well, Glenn and my fellow Americans, I believe we're in really serious trouble. The left has been telling us for decades now that they wanted to transform America fundamentally. Now, what does that mean? What do they want to transform us into? Well, they've told us they want to transform us into socialism. I believe them. Many people don't. And they want to do it by any means necessary. Interestingly enough, Glenn, back in the early 70s, a gentleman by the name of Saul Alinsky came out with a book called Rules for Radicals. And in his book, he talks about 13 different tactics. These are ways that the left can use these tactics to achieve their end goal. So these tactics are very little understood by the American people. Now, President Trump understands them. He uses them. But because the American people don't understand them, they get very confused when he uses them. They think he's unpresidential. They think he's mean. They think he's too hard. He should back up. No, we cannot back up. This, to the left, is war. We've got to stay in it to win it. Now, I wrote my book, Rules for Deplorables, a primer for fighting radical socialism, in order to combat these tactics of the left. And I took each chapter and exposed one tactic by using current events to make it a little easier to kind of understand. So we have got to get this message across to the American people so that they know that these are actual tactics, intentional, being used, and we can figure out how to use them against the left.
Well, Cathi, what are, let's say, 2 takeaways that you expect your readers to come away with that they can really put into action to help President Trump successfully be reelected in 2020?
I'm hoping that the major thing that I get across is the fact that socialism in our country is creeping up on us, and we have got to start taking some action and recognizing that this is a real threat to our republic. The other thing that I really want people to take from it is to understand the tactics so that we can use them also against the left, and we're prepared to win this battle.
Well, thanks for joining us in this conversation about the book Rules for Deplorables with author Cathi Chamberlain. I'm Glenn Schultz, and we look forward to coming back to you with yet another installment in the near future.
Thanks, Glenn.
You can purchase your own copy of Rules for Deplorables, a primer for fighting radical socialism, by visiting Cathi Chamberlain's website at rulesfordeplorablesbook.com or go to amazon.com. It's the best way to prepare for what will be a hard-fought victory in 2020. Vote 2020. Trump or socialism.
America will never be a socialist country, ever.